Trailblazers, let's talk about how to go from what is going on. Okay, trying to reconnect. We're having some connectivity issues. Un momento, por favors. I don't know why it's doing that, but let's turn this off and hopefully everything is back to normal. Hello. Okay. How do you go from zero or at least zero online sales, like leads that you've generated online? How do you go from like nothing going on there to a consistent $10,000 a month from just the online side? And I think this is a really helpful conversation for folks who are kind of stuck in that word of mouth phase of their business. And maybe you're crushing it word of mouth, which is awesome. Keep rocking, but you want to layer up. You want to build this further and get in front of the right people online, past your current network or past your existing warm market. So as you jump on, let me know you are here. We're going to get into, I got a whole page of notes here. We're going to get some really detailed stuff. So you're going to want to take some notes, and we definitely want to share some love with the Facebook algorithms. So, hey, Eric. Hey, Heidi. Hello, Danny. Okay. So as you jump on, say hi. Let me know you're here, and let's write on all your notes so you remember what I'm saying actually in the comments here, so that it tells the algorithm how awesome it is, right? We can get this really great free information out to everyone in Facebook land. So say hi, let me know you're here with me, and let's jump on in. So 0 to consistent $10,000. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 steps for you. So 6 steps to have a consistent $10,000 a month. Now, the very first thing, and you probably, if you followed us at all, you've heard this before, but it's important. And I keep having to reiterate it because I keep running into folks who are going the wrong way about this. And this is a very common pitfall or trap for people who have been building their business word of mouth. Because the reality is, if it's word of mouth, and if you connect with someone who you can help, hey, Dory, welcome. If there's someone you can help, you can take them. You can be a generalist. You can help people with all kinds of problems if you're doing referrals and word of mouth based. But here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. If you're looking to expand past that, to start generating leads online through your social media, through content, through different avenues, you need to go from a generalist to a specialist. And that doesn't mean you stop helping people like you currently are offline or word of mouth. If you can still be a generalist in that sphere, but specifically with your online messaging, with your online content, with everything you're going to do online, you are talking about a very specific thing that you help people to do. Okay. So you help such and such type of person get such and such type of result. Your messaging, it needs to be very dialed in. So you need to think about what would be powerful enough that when someone hears a message, hears an ad, hears a reel from you, it resonates and they're like, dang, I think that gal, that Dory, right? That James Allen Buckley, he knows what I'm going through and he can help me. So if you're, a weight loss coach, that's really generic. And somebody who's like a pudgy guy in his 20s who needs to lose 50 to 100 pounds of fat, the messaging and how you speak to that is very different than a woman in her late 30s and 40s who's going through perimenopause, has kids and all the stress of children, was in shape in their 20s. Now it's really, really hard and they're really struggling to shed any weight, and they need to drop, 30, 40 pounds. The type of ad that you would write, the type of message that you would put out into the world would be very, very different based on who you're targeting. And it would resonate because that chubby, 20-something-year-old guy is not going to pay attention to the ad that you put out there speaking to the perimenopausal woman in their late 30s, early 40s with kids. It's not, but that woman, when she hears it, it's not some generic weight loss junk. It's, wow, that person can help me. That's what I need help with right now. They truly understand the challenges and the struggles and everything that I'm going through. So step number one of 6, guys, is your messaging, and get really, really specific. Hey, Robert, welcome, Jazz. So put in, if you figure this out, or you think you maybe figured this out and want some feedback, throw into the comments your messaging. What's your messaging? Who do you help and what result do you help them to achieve? What's that transformation that you're helping them to accomplish? Because as a coach, as a course creator, that's what people want to know about. They don't want to know that they're going to get information. They want a specific transformation. Google, YouTube, they provide us with information. What we need help with is the transformation. That's what we are willing to buy. That's what we're willing to pay for. So throw in the comments and I'll give you some feedback because this is so important. All right. With this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Now the second item is I clearly didn't number my notes, hence the continual counting, but bear with me. It's good stuff. All right. The second thing is making sure that you have a very specific program or offer that you've packaged up. A lot of times when it's word of mouth, you just kind of make up a package for them based on what they need. And maybe you do 1 month for this person, a couple sessions for that person, 6 months for that person. And it's really just kind of like ad hoc. You just kind of make it up as you go. No, we're creating a system that sells a specific offer. So you need a very specific program that you're selling. So you don't need 50 offers. You don't need 5 offers, like this little thing and this middle thing and this, all this stuff. Like people get lost in that swirl. And then they get stuck in content creation and course and offer creation. Don't let this be you. One offer, one solid offer. And I would aim that offer at the low high ticket range. So it's not really high ticket, but kind of high ticket where it still would require a sales call to close somebody. So we're talking $1,500 to $3,000. I think is a really good starting point for most people, most coaches out there with their program. So that might be a 90-day. That might be a 5-month, a 6-month. I don't know. Maybe it's group, which I love because it's super leveraged. So we help a lot of our clients move into that group space. Maybe it's one-on-one. If you're brand new, you haven't done much yet, one-on-one is a good place to start, and then transition it to group as you get going and as you have more experience working with your clients. Now, again, that's step 2 of 6 to get to a consistent $10,000 a month. And I want to be real. This is a structure and a format to follow. In no way, shape, or form am I telling you, if you do this, you're going to make this amount of money. This is just advice, is educational purposes only. We're the anti get rich quick people. So I want to be really crystal clear with this, because if I had to start over today, this is what I would do. Or if I had a loved one who wanted to build this kind of business, this is exactly what I would tell them to do. Now, whether or not they do it, whether or not they get the results, that's outside my hands. But I can give them some really good advice to give them a leg up. Hope that makes sense. And if at any time listening to this, you're like, this is really good, but I don't know how to do any of this, or I'm missing this piece, or I'm confused here, let's just talk. Let's chat. This is what we help people do. This is our expertise. So just comment info in the chat. If you're on YouTube, there's a link to click, but just comment info. We will set up a time to chat, see what's going on, and just point you in the right direction. And it's not a sales call. We don't have anything to sell on or buy on that conversation. We'll just get you some more resources. If you want our newest freebie that Todd created, it's really good. It's our guest speaking for high ticket clients. It's a PDF guide. It's really, really good. Comment PDF and we will get that to you. It's good stuff. All right. So back to the regularly scheduled program. Okay. So, all right. The third step. Okay. So now you know who you're helping. You've got a packaged offer in the $1,500 to $3,000 range. Number 3 is choose your social media focus. 1, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, whatever. Where are you going to hang out and get in front of people and just be present and show your personality, show your value, build authority? Yes, you want to generate leads from this, but it's not going to be faster overnight. It is more of a long-term play, and you just need to get started as quickly as you can. Okay. Hey, Denise, good to see you. So Start creating content on that platform. Study what's working by other people on the platform who are doing well, who serve similar industries, similar niches, and model after them. Learn what they're doing, what's their format, what's their structure, and then put your own spin on it and go. But start with creating content. Choose one platform to focus on. If you haven't figured out one platform, you don't need to be everywhere else. You just don't. That's a waste of energy and time and everything else. So focus on one platform. Okay. In the comments, ladies and gentlemen, let me know what's your one platform that you've chosen, or your primary platform where you show up and give content and interact with folks. This is important. It is. You don't want to, even if you're doing a lot of offline, off social media things at this day and age, if you try to find if you've got a business, especially an online like coaching type of business, and they try to find you on social and they can't find you anywhere, it's just kind of weird. It's going to raise some questions. People are going to be quite curious about that scenario. So avoid it. Choose your platform. Choose where you want to live in the social media sphere and start creating content. Okay. The fourth step in this process, simple, create a lead magnet. Create an awesome lead magnet. And this is a freebie that you give away in exchange for someone's email address. And you need to set this up behind a capture page. I can't tell you how many people will show up. They're already doing podcast guesting, like going on people's podcasts to build an audience, to generate leads, and they don't have a capture page in front of the giveaway that they provide. Not good. You need a capture page. You need a lead magnet, like funnel, where people put in their name and email, and then they get this great thing that you created in their email. And now they're on your email list, so you can email them regularly. This is critical. I would have everyone do this before they spend their time podcast guesting. Like, this is basic, because if you interact, if someone hears you on a podcast, like, I like that gal, I'm not right quite on the buying something today, but I'm going to pay attention because I think at such and such time, I want to maybe work with that person. Well, if you only have a book a call link, well, they don't want to book a call. They're not ready to purchase. That's like asking them to marry you on the first date or the first time you interact with someone. No, you get them on your email list. You can nurture them over time. And then when they're warmed up, when they've dated you for a while, when the time is right, now they're ready to move things forward. And you've had the opportunity to continue to nurture them. You've actually built an audience and not just been somebody that they were introduced to one time and already forgot. So build that lead magnet, that great freebie. It shouldn't be something super basic that people can just Google how to do. It needs to have some real value to it, that if you charge $7-10, people would actually pay for it. With that lead magnet funnel, once you start collecting emails, you need to start emailing your folks once a week minimum. I would definitely suggest more. I would definitely suggest building out a nurture sequence and all kinds of things. But if we're looking at simply just getting things moving, get that lead magnet out there. And then once a week, like on Tuesdays, or like set some sort of thing for yourself that, hey, I'm just going to send a nice little note to my people, give them some free value, point them to a latest video or something that I created to build that know, like, and trust further. Okay. Then I'm curious now. I'm not getting all the comments. I'm having some weird tech issues on Facebook, but I gold star to anybody who writes down all, comments for each of these 6 steps, because that's good. That's how you're going to actually remember these to be able to do them later. But step number 5 is focus now on lead generation. Is your system and everything optimized? No, but we need to start generating leads. So lead generation is truly probably the number one problem for all coaches, course creators, people who are trying to sell their expertise, their like info products. It's getting people's attention, getting them aware of who you are, getting them to opt in and get on your email list. Lead generation is critical. You can have the most amazing offer. You can be the most amazing coach that can get people just these crazy, phenomenal results. But if they don't know you, if they've never heard of you, you can't help anybody, and no one's going to be purchasing. So lead generation is something that you need to learn and you need to master and you need to keep doing at every stage and step of your business and you never stop. Lead generation is foundational for everything else. Because if they don't run into you, if they don't know you exist, they clearly will never buy from you. So at this stage, you've got your lead magnet set up. You've got just a basic like, hey, I'm going to email them once a week. Cool. Let's start focusing on lead generation. What does this look like? The number one thing I would have you do at this stage in particular is podcast guesting. This is getting on other people's podcasts, showing up, giving great value, helping people fall in love with you, right? Or at least get to know who you are, make that introduction, get curious enough to go opt in for that lead magnet. So like we've got a podcast guesting group. It's Podcast Guest Network is how the name of the group starts. Podcast Guest Network. You can go in there, you can make a post like, what are your expertise? What could you talk about? Then you can go in and you can comment on everybody who has a show who's looking for guests. We've got the Digital Trailblazer Podcast Network. If you haven't been featured in one of our podcasts, you should reach out to us. We will definitely talk, see if you're a good fit for us. We just had a post. I just grabbed a little screenshot of this gal. I forget her name, but she posted in one of our other groups that she was on our personal development podcast, which is one of our podcasts in our Digital Trailblazer Podcast Network. It's not even our highest ranking podcast. It's our second highest ranking podcast. And she was posting, hey, I had a great time with the Digital Trailblazer podcast. And guess what? I just had a sales call from someone who found me through that podcast. Why does this work so beautifully? Because you're getting in front of an audience that you didn't have to build. Audience growth and development takes a long time. Hey, Johnny, good to see you. Audience growth and development takes a long time, and you want to speed that up as much as possible. So when you collaborate, you get in front of somebody else's audience, you're being introduced to a whole new group of people, and you didn't have to sit there and nurture and build that audience, but you're borrowing the authority of the host and whoever's podcast that is, and you're stepping in front of their audience. And if their audience is a fit for who you serve, that is a win-win. You provide great content for the podcast host. And now those who really resonate with you will go opt into your lead magnet, get on your list, and be ready to make a purchase later once you warm them up and move them through to a purchasing decision. So podcast guesting would be absolutely like, as soon as you have these basics, hey, Aaron, as soon as you have these basics set up, podcast guesting, absolutely. One minimum a week. You're doing at least one interview every single week. Then I would look for opportunities for other collaborations. Sometimes there's giveaways, summits. Sometimes you can find someone, just a joint venture kind of thing, and you're just talking, and like they're going to let you go live in their Facebook group or do it vice versa, or email each other's lists. There's all kinds of opportunities to collaborate with people. So find someone who has the audience that you want to get in front of and does not compete with you in any way. That's important, because if they compete with you, they're not going to want to do this. It doesn't make sense for them. So lead generation, like write it on your forehead, like lead generation, super important. Stay focused on it always. As soon as you get that basic lead magnet funnel set up, your ongoing focus. Okay. Ooh. Awesome. Okay. So Denise just said, I did a podcast with, she was on the personal development podcast as well. And one gal reached out to me on my website. Yay. See, it works. It works. Now, did she have to spend, almost a year building that audience? No. She just got to step in front of that audience, speak to her expertise, and then have people connect with her. Beautiful. That's the power, right? So awesome. So all of those things are wonderful. Lead generation ongoing. You're going to continue your social media strategy, whatever strategy you're working for social media, and then getting into paid ads as well. Okay. Paid ads is a powerful way to reach more people when you're ready for them. And we love them. We've done a lot of revenue through paid ads, and we've helped a lot of people use paid ads successfully to generate leads and to close sales. So highly suggest it. Now, number 6. Okay. So you started your lead gen. Maybe you're doing one podcast interview a week. You're maybe attending some networking meetings and looking for additional collaborations. You're doing your social media strategy, whatever your platform is, Instagram, Facebook, whatever. On top of that, now step number 6 is to build out and optimize a sales system. How do you move people from that initial lead where they just opted in? How do you further nurture, qualify, move them through to a sale? So an easy thing that you should be doing, you could do a Facebook group or some sort of online community that once they opt in, you invite them to join. So our main Facebook group, our community is in our Facebook group. I show up live every single Monday to give great value, to help them for free. We have had people who've made thousands of dollars from our free content just from what we've shared in our Facebook group. Never purchased anything from us. That's awesome, right? So we've got our place that, hey, we're going to get you on our email list, but guess what? We're also going to invite you to our Facebook group because now we get to talk. Like you're seeing me on a live video. I can talk to Denise. I can talk to Dory. I can talk to Aaron and Sen. I can do these different things and we can have this one-to-many conversation. And you go from just words on an email to a real person where your expertise, your personality, your authenticity can really shine and your true desire to help people. So this is awesome. So having some sort of online community that you can point them to, Facebook groups is a simple one to do. You can do things like school. You can maybe try this with your Instagram or other places, but I do like the Facebook group scenario. Another thing to build out, because we don't want like one path to get to the sale. We want as many paths as possible so that we can optimize the amount of sales coming through. Because maybe Sarah doesn't check her email. She's not an email person, but hey, she got in our Facebook group and she's a big Facebook user. Now she's seeing our content all the time with Facebook. Maybe Joe is big on email. Well, Joe, we're going to build out an email sequence for you. So as soon as they opt in for the lead magnet, they get a series of emails that are pre-programmed, that provides value, that overcomes common objections, that offers them what's called a VSL, a video sales letter. This is a video that you craft very purposely and very specifically that sells them on why they need to book a call with you. So this is really, really important because if you just have an email sequence and you're just telling them to book a call, again, you're just words in an email. Your words on a screen, it's not as effective. If instead you're like, hey, I got this great training, check it out here. They watch the video. Now you're a real human. They truly are blown away by the amount of value, by your authenticity, by your expertise. Now, hey, I want to check that out. Like I could maybe handle a conversation. I'm not buying necessarily, but I could talk. I might be interested, right? You sell them into booking that call. So that would be one of the conversion events where we're helping them move from just a lead over to a purchasing decision. Okay. Hey, Daryl, good to see you. So I'll repeat this because I know we got some more folks. I've got some more in here, so you stay put. Okay. But we got some more folks listening. If you want our very new guest speaking for high ticket clients PDF guide, type in PDF in the chat, probably a Matt. I'll have Matt go through tomorrow morning and he will reply to everybody, get that to you. If you know you need help with this stuff and just this level of information is wonderful, but you're going to need something deeper to actually implement it, this is what we do. This is how we help people. Just comment info in the chat. We will just set up a conversation chat, see how we can help you, point you in the right direction, not hard sell you on any call. Okay. So, but yeah, type in info or PDF. Now, in addition to the Facebook group or online community, in addition to the VSL, video sales letter, in addition to the email sequence, what about a text message sequence? Because guess what? I don't know what names I used already, but Kristen, I didn't use that name. So Kristen isn't big on Facebook and she doesn't check her email very much. Guess what Kristen sees all the time though? Text messages. So are you texting everyone that opts in for your lead magnet? Checking in. Might be a great opportunity to nurture, qualify, move them through to a sales call. Magic. So these are the 6 steps, right? Messaging, dialing this in really, really specific. Having a packaged program, a low high ticket program. Choosing your social media platform that you're going to focus on, creating great content. Creating your lead magnet, starting to email at least once a week. Focusing on lead generation strategies, number 5, like podcast guesting. And then number 6, optimizing your sales system. This is how you do it. Let's work some numbers just so you get the bigger picture here real quick before we wrap up. If you want to hit $10,000 a month and you've got a $2,500 program, that's 4 sales a month. That's only 4. Now, hopefully that brings some excitement and confidence to you, but I do want to talk numbers, because if you want 4 sales a month, that doesn't mean you're generating 4 leads. No, you're generating 400 leads, because 1 to 2 out of 100 you'll be able to close into a sale if you do all the other stuff right. So plan on, if you want 4 sales, a consistent $10,000 a month, then you need to figure out how to consistently generate 400 leads a month. See, you get that dialed in. It's just math. All right. Need some help? Type in info. I will be back next Monday, same time, 5:30 Eastern, 4:30 Central, 2:30 Pacific time. If you have a specific request for the next training, happy to oblige. Pop it in here as a request. Let me know it's a request for next week. Hey, Deborah, good to see you. I highly suggest going back to the beginning here, watching this a few times and taking some notes, because this is it. If you want consistency, if you want this to work, this is exactly what to do. If you need help with it, let me know and we'll chat, okay? Have a blessed rest of your day, and I'll see you guys next Monday.